Hey everyone, this is Hurricane Hal with your Wednesday evening tropical weather update here live from Galveston Beach, Texas. Wanted to talk about Hurricane Delta. It was a very small hurricane in the Caribbean, made landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula as a Category 2 hurricane, really close to the Category 3 threshold. Max winds were 110, and then it moved into the southern Gulf today. But we've had some pieces of really good news. First of all, 24 hours ago, we were looking at Delta perhaps moving into the southern Gulf of Mexico as a Category 3 or a major hurricane, but it's weaker than that. Right now, it's a Category 1 hurricane as of the late afternoon advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Max winds were 85 miles an hour. It is forecast to strengthen into a Category 3 or a major hurricane with winds of around 115, but that's quite a bit lower than was previously forecast. So that's a piece of really good news. It is forecast to turn to the right and pass east of the upper Texas coast, most likely make landfall in southwest Louisiana. It's a fairly small storm. The global models do expand the wind field, but it should still stay smaller than Hurricane Laura was back in August. For example, the radius of hurricane force winds with Laura before making landfall were 50 nautical miles. With Delta, they've been running about 30, and they could expand to 40, but they're still running for the hurricane force winds and the tropical storm force winds. The radii of those wind fields should be smaller than they were with Laura. And that's one reason is that, one really good reason is that a smaller storm will push less storm surge. So that's the good news. And the second reason is that the water temperatures here in the northern Gulf are running cooler than normal. And a few people asked me why that is. We were fortunate to get two early season strong cold fronts that passed by the northern Gulf Coast already this season, and those brought cooler air. They also pushed the surface water offshore, and they upwell cooler water. So the water temperatures a month ago here were running in the mid to upper 80s. Now they've been running in the mid to upper 70s. So that's really good news. So I like seeing a Cat 1 hurricane in the southern Gulf, and the water temperatures in the northern Gulf are really too cool to support development of hurricane strength winds, things like that. So this is good news. And although it will intensify probably to a Category 3, I think it will weaken most likely to a Category 2 before landfall in southwest Louisiana. Again, the smaller area storm, it'll be pushing less storm surge. What are we looking at on the upper Texas coast? I have a lot of followers here from Texas. I do think here Bolivar and Galveston will see some strong winds through the day, Thursday night and Friday, perhaps sustained out of the north around 30-35 miles an hour. I think we'll see a short duration but a quick storm surge. That might be really similar to what we saw in Hurricane Laura back in August. The water level on the tide gauge getting up to around 5 feet, but it will not be a multi-day flood event like we saw from Tropical Storm Beta just last month in September. Probably be on the field here going out to Sippermore Point and some other places in South Louisiana putting up tide gauges. We like to monitor what's happening with these storms, but again, I think it'll probably make landfall in South Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane. That's a bit rare. We haven't had a Category 2 landfall in Louisiana in October since Hurricane Hilda back in 1964. So again, looking at some effects here, some fringe effects along the upper Texas coast. Hopefully we can hope that the cooler water kicks in and some wind shear as well to weaken this storm. Our friends in southwest Louisiana already took a devastating hit from Hurricane Laura back at the end of August. It would be nice for them not to really have a big impact here from Hurricane Delta. This is Hurricane Hal. I'll be on the road the next couple days in the impact zone, and just keep sending me your questions. A lot of people had some great questions for me and some great interaction on social media. This is Dr. Hal Needham signing off from Galveston, Texas.